Very much, D-Man. First off, of course, congratulations, locking in third place. The first 2 days, not there that much Alliance, but playing good when it counts for you guys. Tell me about this matchup. One thing that caught my eye was like Gragas, Rise. Were you also wondering where it was going, and were you happy where they ended up?
No, actually, since they locked it in first, we were pretty sure that it was actually going to be top. And we knew from 10 that they played the Yasuo Gragas comp, and we thought they were actually going to go for that again, but they didn't.
Talk to me a little bit about why this game was so difficult for you guys to close out. Initially, the Wolves got a lead early on. They had a few thousand gold on you. You guys were scrappy in the mid game, but it was very hard pressed for you to win. Why?
I think Forgiven got really strong on Lucian. They had a lot of shields together with Lee Sin and the Fresh Lantern. Not Fresh Lantern, the Karma Shield, obviously, and then the Mika's Crucible as well. And on top of that, they have a Lee Sin kick. So if I ever go in on somebody in the mid game, they will just kick me away. So it's really hard to actually force team fights, and that's why we kept splitting all the time. And then Wicked obviously knows Aurelia well enough, so he just went a build where he could have one-on-one the Rise, and he kept forcing TPs. We didn't really play it perfectly, but it worked out in the end.
One crucial moment for me was, I believe it was the very first Baron where they almost took it because they won a team fight, but then you guys still came back. I feel like that was a very important one. If you had lost it there, maybe talk me through that.
It was very important. I also think it wasn't a good decision for them because I still had my ultimate and we were still 3 people alive with 2 people spawning, and it was early in the game. They don't really have the fastest Nashor if they have to focus all their power on it. And if they're doing that, they're going to take too much damage from the Nashor, and that's basically what happened. Maybe I went in a bit too early, but I went in, sacrificed myself, right, and then they were all low, and we just cleaned up and took the Nashor afterwards.
So I absolutely love your Zed play. I want to know why this week? Why did we pull it out more so than elsewhere? Why didn't we see it early in the split? Because earlier today, I was commenting in your game and saying how there's going to be a point where Zed may become less of an impact. I think we've seen it here a little bit. It was very difficult for you to get in because of the composition. So why is it working for you this week?
In solo queue, I've just been spamming a lot of Zed. He is probably the most versatile champion in the game. You can pick him in every single setup. He can poke, he can all in you. He's really good at team fights. He has AoE damage with the E and the Qs. And obviously with the Shadows dealing a lot of damage as well. So he's just incredible versatile champion. And I think he's good in almost every single setup, and I really love to play him. So I've just been practicing a lot, and then I just go for it.
Yeah, you mentioned team fighting, but a trend that we have been seeing it, or that a lot of teams just go for, or split push, good rotation, siege comps, and not that many teams like to team fight that much anymore, it seems. How does that feel with Alliance? Are you guys happy to go in that trend, or would you rather just brawl?
I think people actually love to team fight, but there's a champions called Gragas and 6 that has really good wave clear. So maybe if we remove those from the game, we will see a lot more team fights.
I think one step. Gragas has been tweaked in 4.5. Let's keep it that way. Let's step back from the game. You guys did phenomenal. Thanks to the victory, Scumbag Alliance have denied Europe our tiebreakers. Blame this guy. So it's 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. You lock in that third place and a rematch against the Copenhagen Wolves in the playoffs in a best of 3. Were you guys happy with that? I know there was the possibility of second coming into the week, even the possibility of first. How do you read Super Week for Alliance taking on bronze?
I think going into the Super Week, our 4.4 patch preparation weren't really that good because we had like 1.5 week for it. And I don't think we feel that comfortable on the patch, but I think going into the playoffs, it will be way better than it is in the Super Week. And then we obviously underestimated Kha'Zix against Millennium. And if that doesn't happen, I think we have a pretty good chance.
All right, one final question. No tiebreakers, but we were mentioning you actually like that. Tell us about that, because it's kind of surprising.
Yeah, well, everybody knows in CLGU, like, draw out games, make people tired, and win games. Like, if you watch people just sleep at their PCs, it's actually really funny to play against them because you know they're not prepared at all. And I don't really mind just farming all games. So.
All right. Maybe one final question. How happy are you with what you've performed now in this first split with, of course, what is the new lineup that you handpicked?
I would have loved to perform way better at the start, obviously. Like, as a team, we didn't perform the way everybody expected us to, obviously. But I think as we get further and further, it's getting better. And hopefully we will just be like the best for summer split.
And in the playoffs, of course, not.
Of course.
All right, well, thank you very much, Froggen, and congratulations on that third place lock-in. Now we're going to head back over to D&D at the desk to check out the standings.